you check the children? Show a little match sometimes.
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
Sometimes. That is better.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Horror Show. I'm Cecil Laird, and I'm here to do a solo review today of another new horror release. This October is Krazy, and that's why we're going to have a review for you basically every day leading up to Halloween, if I'm not mistaken, because, well, I'm going to be talking about right now the Nick Frost film, Krazy House. I kind of stutter on that because it's played like it's a 90s sitcom. So I say film, but it's really an extended sitcom that goes awry, and I'll get into it. But besides that, there's Caddo Lake, there's the Teacup series that started. There's quite a bit for us to review. The Platform 2 review has to come out still. I still need to, I just recorded my Terrifier 3 review, got to put that up. So lots of stuff coming your way, and I hope you enjoy it. So yeah, I'm here to review Krazy House with a K, with Nick Frost. Now again, we did a couple of trailer reactions for this. One of the trailer reactions was months ago, and then we got another one recently leading up to the release. And Robert and I, who did the reactions, we were very curious and we were very interested in it. And because it basically looks like it's playing as a 90s sitcom, like an early 90s, late 80s sitcom. Kind of like Married with Children-ish, except the dad isn't a surly shoe salesman. The dad is a God-loving, good man whose family just doesn't seem to respect him the way that they should, or at least his kids don't. And his wife is a person focused on her career kind of thing. And it's, well, I'll get into the story, but my overall thoughts are I did not enjoy this movie, and neither did Robert. We both kind of struggled to make it through this one. Now, that's not to say you won't like it, because after I watched it, I texted my friend Jason from Sinister Cinema Reviews, and he said that Alex from Beyond the Void, the Beyond the Void channel, he loved the movie. So, you know, obviously film is subjective, so if you're interested in the premise, I definitely recommend you check it out. But I would say if your opinions are anything like mine, then you may walk away a little disappointed. And that's kind of the way I was, because I like gimmick horror. And, you know, a lot of times it can be done well, a la Talk to Me, a la It's What's Inside, a la things that just do things differently, right? And this one is one of those films because it's a sitcom that goes way off the rails and goes into kind of crazy territory at some point. But yeah, normally I like these. Sometimes they're not done well. The elevator game is not great. The friendship game is not necessarily great. Anything with game in the title leaves a little to be desired, but it is still gimmick horror. It's what I call gimmick horror. So I'm usually open to things like this, but Krazy House just did not do it for us. We were not fans. It dragged on. It took way too long to get to the good stuff. And then it was very haphazard with it all. So, I don't know. Overall, it was just a big mess to me. That's the easiest way to describe it. It's a giant mess. Whoops, gotta clean up this mess, or something like that. That's actually like his signature line that gets claps, like Bart Simpson's, "I didn't do it." It's, you know, whoops, I gotta clean up this mess, or something like that. Unfortunately, they did not bother cleaning up the mess that is the movie itself. So, getting into it more in depth, the story is, like I said, about this family on a sitcom, and the dad is just a buffoon, a clumsy buffoon that's causing all kinds of issues and breaking all parts of the house, from vases to the sink to countertops to a number of different things. And he's forced to call in some help, but it's very shady help, because it's this Russian dude and his two kids, and they're very off-putting and just off in general. And it's silly because, like, they try and play up like this love connection between Nick Frost's daughter and one of the dudes, and then another love connection that, you know, I don't want to spoil and stuff because it's kind of funny, but not that funny, you know what I mean? It's a little easy, the joke, but nonetheless, things just start spiraling for Nick Frost's character. I mean, his wife has something happen, which I won't spoil again because it was the only genuinely shocking moment of the movie, but something happens and she is laid up in bed for a lot of the rest of the movie, and so it's she doesn't have a terribly lot to do, as much as the kids do and as much as Nick Frost does. But as things spiral out of control, we see that Nick Frost apparently is grappling with some voices that are telling him to kill them all. And so it's him dealing with that, and then what happens if there's an eventual snap, and what goes on after that. Now, again, I'm not going to go beyond that because I don't want to spoil it for you guys, but I will just say regarding the story, I was very underwhelmed with how it played out. I know they were trying to make it like have a lot of the tropes from sitcoms like that, but I feel like they struggled with that. I mean, the whole first half hour is them just trying to be, you know, a parody of one of those sitcoms, but the dialogue is not funny. Like, they should have focused a lot more on making it actually a funny comedy sitcom instead of a mock version of sitcoms that have done it better. You know, they really should have tried to amp up the comedy writing to make it actually funny and entertaining. And then as things start to spiral, it gets crazy. You're like, oh, cool, you know. But I feel like the writing was kind of weak throughout the movie, and I think it very much suffered for it. But you know, how the story plays out, it's not predictable, but not unpredictable. I know that doesn't make a lot of sense, but it's like I knew where it was going, I just didn't know how it was going to get there. And the way that it chose to get there was like the most rickety sort of road they could have taken. It feels like there was a smooth path that they could have gone down, but they chose the road that is like full of potholes. So I didn't understand a lot of the choices, but that's the movie we got. Acting wise, I think the writing made it very hard for a few of the actors to come off likable, enjoyable to watch in any way. And I think that was a big problem for the film. The film is full of like low-hanging fruit, and yet it doesn't even make good jokes with the low-hanging fruit. And unfortunately, the fact that they're trying to play this as a parody, I feel like they're gonna want to get away with like bad jokes and like bad acting because there was bad acting in those sitcoms. Well, not the ones that were successful and not the ones you're trying to parody. I disagree. Like, I feel like this was just bad. Like, not funny parody bad, just bad. And yeah, unfortunately the kid characters take the brunt of that. I don't think they're actually kids. But yeah, it's they were the ones that I had the most trouble with, although the Russians were so ridiculous. It's hard. It's not funny bad like The Room. It's just, it tried to be like, it's like Scary Movie 4. You know what I mean? It's like that kind of bad, but it's not just trying to wink about all the other movies. It's trying to just be a parody of a 90s sitcom and doing it very poorly. Moving on. Sound design. The score is not much to be thought of. I mean, there's a laugh track that they add in all throughout the movie that feels crowbarred in almost the entire time, which, again, they might say, yeah, that's what we were going for because that's what they did in the 90s. No. Sometimes the laugh tracks would be too much, but for the most part, it was used effectively on well-made sitcoms. So, yeah, I don't know. It's just a lot of what they were trying to do didn't land with me. Plain and simple. Maybe it'll land with you. I'm betting it'll land with Jason because he likes the outliers that a lot of people don't like. But again, maybe I'm the outlier here. Maybe everyone would like this one, but it just definitely wasn't for me. Effects wise, it's okay. I mean, there's definitely some CG stuff added at times, I believe. Some little augmentations that don't augment very much. A lot of practical effects. It seems like they built the actual production design. The set itself does look like a 90s sitcom house. So they did good on that front. Like, the production design at least was good. And as the house came further and further apart, the design team did a good job of evolving the house's look as it did that. Like, the craziness was slowly infecting the rest of the house as more and more damage was getting done throughout it. And so that part was good, at least. That, you know, if I'm gonna give some positives, that's I've stumbled across one there. But the effects overall, there's a little bit of gore, there's a lot of bit of set demolition, and it's fine. It's fine. The editing, though, is strange. Like, you know, they try and do, like, the cuts when he's kind of in his head and he's going a little crazy, but it's kind of awkwardly presented. It's not slickly presented like a lot of times. And yeah, it just doesn't... that didn't really work for me either. So I'm not going to spend much more time on it, you guys. I wasn't a fan of this one. And, again, mileage may vary. You guys might like it, but... it definitely wasn't for me, and if anything that I've said sounds like it would make it not for you, then I would heed that inner voice. So thank you guys very much for watching. Thank you to all of our patrons for supporting the channel the way that you do. Until next time, though, I've been Cecil Laird, and remember, stay scared.